Hey Larry, welcome to the 2019 OEC golf event. Just want to give you an opportunity here to view your swing. Let that play on through, put you back in your dress position, and we'll take a look at a few things for you. So what we got you here in your setup, spine's nice and straight, not a tilt. Legs come down into a nicely unlocked position. You then hold your arms sort of down into your body a little bit, and then the forearms work away and the club works out to the golf ball. Ideally what we like to do here is, in refining your posture, we'd sort of get you to push your tail out and up and push your sternum out and forward. And ultimately what that would do is it would increase the angle to your spine, put you a little bit more in that kind of position, and then you can keep your legs unlocked as they are. Then the arms wouldn't hang sort of alongside your rib cage. You could let your arms hang down a little bit more naturally, and the club could then work out to the golf ball. So subtle refinement in your posture would be ideal. Next thing we want to observe has to do with your alignment. We can see that your feet are aiming in this direction. Now if we carry that out towards the target, theoretically your club face is supposed to run parallel to your feet, and parallel lines on camera would have an appearance of converging. And with that scenario, we can see that you're definitely set up sort of towards the right rough here. Okay, so in order for you to find your intended target, which is over here, we're either going to have to come over the top and swing the club from out to in to try and pull the ball back on line, or we're going to swing the club relatively on a pretty good plane and then have to flip the hands, because what will happen in that scenario is the ball will start out towards your intended target, but then if we flip the hands, we can impart enough right to left spin to hopefully draw or hook the ball back towards the yellow flag. And we'll get a sense of what it is you do in your golf swing here in just a few seconds. So let's get this stuff off the screen here. We'll do a little split screen comparison between you and Jordan Spieth. So we can see a subtle refinement, as I was talking about, with your posture. See his spine's angled a little bit more forward than yours. And then everything else from that vantage point would be better. And again, we can see your feet are a little bit more closed, aiming out to the right, as we pointed out, than his. As we initiate our takeaway, simply want to draw the golf club back by creating good shoulder rotation, bring the arms and hands back as well as the club. And we want to see the club come back directly along the red line. Simply means the club's coming back on plane. Through here, he creates good wrist hinge into play, working the club from red up to yellow and or blue. And when we set the club at the top of the backswing, in his case, we've got the left arm of the club situated perfectly on the blue line. So he has a slightly more of a steep swing. Being down on yellow is fine too, and that's why this yellow-blue V zone is there. As we go ahead and watch you initiate your takeaway here, you draw your hands back very, very nicely. You turn your shoulders very nicely as well. Club does sneak considerably inside of the swing plane, just means the club head's moved way to the left of the red line. At this point in time, if we get some wrist hinge into play, the club will recover, but we see that you do bring the golf club back where we don't really create any wrist hinge at all. So when you finally get back to here, you basically stop your golf swing. Again, if we had created wrist hinge, you could create probably about another 50% of club travel without even moving your arms back any further. So you don't necessarily need to swing your arms back further. Obviously you can. There's a lot of room to do that. But if this was the amount of arm movement we generate, we can still create at least about another 40% of club travel if we create wrist hinge. And wrist hinge is a major source of power, very important part of the golf swing. At this point in time, as we create our transition back in the ball, simply want to move our weight from our right to our left, fire our knees and our hips to the target, unwind our core, and fire our hands. And in doing so, we need to make sure, again in his case, we're bringing the club from blue back to red, which is where the club originated, and that's exactly what we see here. We see the golf club returning back to being on plane. The other thing we want to observe at this stage of the golf swing is the relationship between the lead forearm and the golf club. Refer to this as the check mark position, and it simply means that the club head at this point in time is remaining above and behind his hands. This is what's going to allow us to create a lot of power in the golf swing, let alone getting the club to return back to plane, as we already pointed out, which is the sole reason why we're going to also hit a golf ball straight in accordance to our alignment. With you having an abbreviated backswing, actually I need to slide this over a bit so we can see, try and track the club head a little bit better. So your club head is way back over here in this vicinity. So as you start your downswing, you're obviously going to be attacking the ball from an inside position, and as we track that club head coming in, we can clearly see that the club head remains behind the hands, so that's very good, and therefore you're definitely attacking the ball from way underneath your swing plane. Again, we had already pointed out you're aimed out to the right, so now the issue is because you're attacking the ball from underneath plane, the problem now is that you could even block the ball further right of where you're aimed. So we had already mentioned that you were basically set up already to hit the golf ball out in this direction because your club is attacking from underneath plane. If we don't completely over-release that golf club, what's going to happen is you could have the ability of blocking the ball right of your actual target. So you're really going to have to release the club here in order to find your intended target, which again is over here in this direction. So we're really going to have to release the club face a lot and impart a lot of right to left spin. In Jordan's case, as he comes into the ball, he simply tracks into the ball directly from this red line. So again, this is what allows us to hit a straight golf shot in accordance to his alignment. Again, his alignment's perfect. His feet are running parallel to his target line. He also has a good grip, so the club face is going to square up, and we're obviously going to be able to hit the ball straight and be consistent because we do have those three criteria. We're aiming well, we're bringing the club down on plane, and we're squaring the face up. In your case, you're aiming considerably to the right. We're coming into the ball from underneath plane. So obviously we're going to start the ball and hit the ball out to the right, and then if we're going to find the blue flag, we got to really close the club face coming into the ball here. So let's see how much the club face shuts down. It doesn't fully shut down, and that's exactly what happens. We miss the ball to the right of where we're aimed because the club face has not over-released. So that'll be a miss. Leave the club face open. We're going to block the ball right of where we're aimed. If we over-release the club, then the ball will have the ability to create some form of a draw or hooking action that will hopefully find the intended target in some way, shape, or form. As you continue your golf swing through, you got good footwork here. You can fully get off your right heel up on your toe, so you sort of quit on it a little bit there in comparison to what we see with Jordan on the left side of the screen. We see on that impact, the right heel's off the ground. Keeps bringing that right heel up off the ground, up on the toe of the right foot, and we get into that kind of finishing position. So you could create a little bit more footwork through to your finish for sure. Okay. Sorry, let me just pause that. Sorry, I hit the wrong button. Let's pull you back up here. There we go. Okay, so as a little recap, again, ideally we like to change your posture. With your backswing, definitely learn how to create better wrist hinge so we can create a longer backswing via having wrist hinge. Also, if we can create a little bit of a longer swing and get your arms a little bit more upright, you won't attack the ball from as far inside, and that'll eliminate you blocking the ball to the right. Would also like to improve your alignment a little, and then ideally just learning how to come into the ball from on plane instead of too far from the inside, because right now the only way you're going to find your intended target, it really comes down to you flipping your hands through impact right there, and if you don't flip them enough, there's just no way that golf ball is going to find the center of the fairway. Okay, and it's obviously indicative of what we just see right here. The golf ball is heading out to the right, and actually right of where you're aimed. So in this case, we are blocking the golf ball, and there's just no way that ball has enough right to left spin to come back to the center of the fairway. Okay? Anyways, hope you had a great day. Hope you enjoyed getting an opportunity to see your swing on video. If at any point in time you ever care to work on any of these aspects of your golf game, I'm over at Glen Abbey where the event was held. All my contact information is right there on the screen. Feel free to reach out. Also, if you're involved in any golf tournaments or you sit on the committee for any events and you're looking for a unique gift to provide to your participants, certainly feel free to touch base, and we'd be happy to discuss my swing analysis services for those tournaments. Okay? Anyways, again, hope you had a great day, and hope you enjoy the rest of your summer.